1,384, 1,975. That's the garage. That's the house. I've looked at a lot of floor plans and I don't remember seeing those two numbers this close together very often. So let's figure out what happened. This is the Emma from Predmore Designs. It's a ranch home, 3 bedrooms on the main, 800 or so finished in the basement with a 4-stall garage. I'm not here to tell you whether it's a good plan or a bad plan. Every plan solves a different problem. I'm just here to show you what the average Tuesday looks like in it. So nobody draws a 1,300 square feet of garage by accident. Somewhere somebody sat down and said, I need more garage, and the rest of the house grew around that decision. But one thing that goes first and everything else arranges itself behind it. So if you're the person who's been paying for a storage unit for 4 years, this drawing is already talking to you. Everything else in this video comes after that one number. So let's walk it. You come in the front door, covered porch out there. I'll come back to that. But the front door puts you in an entry. Immediately to your right, 2 bedrooms and the main bath. That's what we call the kid wing or the guest wing, depending on who you are or where you're at in life. Straight ahead, you're in the living room, vaulted, opens up here to the kitchen. Kitchen's got a peninsula, a pantry, and a dining space that pushes out to a covered deck. Left side of the house, back corner, you got bedroom, bath, closet, tucked away from everything else. And in the middle, laundry, pantry, and door to the garage. That's the whole house, the whole main floor. It's a very simple plan. Simple usually means somebody made the hard choices early instead of spreading them out. Now here's where I want to slow down. Because the front door isn't the door that you use every day. Nobody uses the front door. You use the garage door 5, 6, 8, 12 times a day. That's your real front door. And it's the one no one photographs. But it's also, as I've always said, where most houses quietly tell you whether they're going to be easy to live in or hard. So let's do it. Tuesday afternoon, you've got 4 bags of groceries. You come through the garage here. The first counter this house gives you is your washing machine. That's where the groceries perhaps go, or the mail, or those Amazon boxes. By Christmas, that washer is doing 2 jobs. And it's not because anybody designed it wrong. It's because every family creates a landing zone somewhere. If the plan doesn't give you one, you build one. And until you build it, the washer is it. But this plan does give you plenty of garage to put one exactly where you want it. So now look at where the bedrooms are. Primary's on one end, the other 2 are on the complete opposite end of the house. Between them, you've got a living room, a kitchen, a hallway, a bath, and a closet. It's not just a wall, but it's distance. If somebody's getting up at 5:30, somebody's staying up late, or somebody has a newborn, distance is quieter than a drywall. Now, here's the other half of it. You don't get that much distance in 1,900 square feet without taking it from something. You pay for it in the hallway. Every foot of that hallway is a foot that isn't a bedroom or a kitchen or a closet. Somebody spent square footage to buy quiet, and you can see exactly where they took it from. So let's go back to those 2 numbers, 1,384, 1,975. Every floor plan has a budget, and every square foot gets spent somewhere. This one spent a lot of it on the garage, and that tells you something about what this plan was drawn for. And here's the part that works on every plan you'll ever look at, not just this one. Square footage is the only place a designer can't lie to you. You can stage a room, you can shoot it wide, you can paint it a color that makes it feel bigger, you can put a small couch in it, but you cannot fake a number. So find the biggest space on any drawing and ask where it came from. Numbers tell you what the designer valued. Now I want to talk about something that isn't on the drawing at all. Which way this thing faces. There's a 12 by 12 covered deck on the back of this house. That's a real deck. You can put a table on it, 4 chairs around a table, and somebody can still walk past. But a covered deck facing west is a different deck than a covered deck facing east. Same lumber, different drawing, different Tuesday. Backyard west, nothing between you and Wyoming. That wind comes across and doesn't slow down for your patio umbrella. But your driveway gets morning sun and clears quicker in the winter. Flip around, backyard east, cooler evenings on the patio. The garage takes more of that afternoon sun, and winter mornings can hang on to snow just a little bit longer. North and south have their own trades too. Every direction gives you something and asks for something. Same house, different Tuesday. I don't score a house on layout. That's set by the plat, not by the builder. But before you settle on a plan, go stand on the lot at 7 in the morning in January. The yard will tell you. 1,800 square feet finished in the basement, or 800 square feet finished in the basement, family room, a bath, a bedroom, and then on the drawing, you'll see 2 words, future bedroom, future storage. I actually like seeing future on a plan. It means that you're not paying for space you don't need yet. Just remember that future means later, and later generally costs more than it does today. That's not unique to this builder. That's true of almost every project. So price the house you're moving into, then price the house on the drawing, and know the difference between them. Every Tuesday test comes down to one decision. One place where the plan chose, and this one's clean. The garage got those 4 stalls, and the everyday entrance never got the landing spot. That's the whole plan in one sentence. And you've got 1,300 square feet out there in the garage to fix it. Bench along the wall, hooks above it, a shelf for shoes, call it a Saturday, and a couple $100. Most houses with this problem don't hand you the room to solve it. But this one does. You just have to build it. Every house, as I always say, is a collection of decisions. None of them are free. Every house is designed to solve a problem. And the question is whether it's solving yours. And that's what the Tuesday test is. Looking past the marketing and asking what ordinary life feels like after the moving truck leaves. This one, Tuesday ready. If you got a plan you're looking at from any builder, send it to me. I'll run it through the same process.